Hello and welcome to All Around Annapolis. I'm your host, Rhonda Wardlaw. Did you know that more than 4 million visitors come to the city of Annapolis annually, and a large effort to bring the people here is accomplished by our partners over at the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Conference and Visitors Center. The Vice President of Communications for AAACVB is Susan Steckman, and she joins us today.
Good to be here, Rhonda.
I'm so glad to have you join us because we all have a part in making sure that those tourists enjoy their stay here in Annapolis and come to Annapolis, but your group is really specialized in not only having these people learn about Annapolis, but make sure they come and see Annapolis. Tell me a little bit more about the CVB.
Well, basically, the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Conference and Visitors Bureau, which is why you call it AAACVB, we're a destination marketing organization, and it is what it sounds like. We market the destination domestically and internationally. We try to bring visitors in, have them come back again. We also like to let our residents know about everything that's happening because they're such a part of the destination, and they are what visitors encounter when they come here. So they're the personality of the destination.
That's such an excellent point, because you want your locals to know all the excitement that's happening as well as the visitors coming to enjoy it.
Well, you know, I consider our locals to be as much of an attraction as the destination itself.
Okay.
And the feedback that we get from people who come and visit is that it is a very friendly destination, and that makes us feel great.
Well, you took it one step further and actually created an ambassador program.
We did. Actually, this summer we launched on Memorial Day weekend an Annapolis Ambassador program where we had people out on the street on weekends and holidays, basically walking up and down the streets, hanging out at City Dock, hanging out around Market Square, Market House,
Yep.
Any of the streets in downtown Annapolis, basically looking for people who seem like they could use a little help or a little bit of information or some directions. And so actually, since the program started, it's a pilot program, but since it started on Memorial Day weekend through July, they had assisted 8,300 people. And there's 7 of them, and what they do is they go out 2 at a time. There's a shift from 9 until 1 p.m. and then from 1 until 5 p.m., but there's 2 of them out on the street, basically pounding the pavement, if you will, to find out who they can help. And the feedback's been great.
How would we recognize them?
Well, they're wearing khaki pants and a navy shirt and a red cap, and on the back it says, Visitor Ambassador, Ask Me. Or Welcome Crew. Actually, it's Welcome Crew, Ask Me.
Okay.
And I have to say, when I have just been walking up and down the streets doing whatever I'm doing or assisting whatever journalists we're assisting, I've bumped into them often. And so that's great, because then we can introduce them to these international journalists who we have visiting, and they're very impressed with that.
Well, speaking of international journalists, you really spend a lot of time not only on the locals learning, but more importantly, the international and national crowds learning more about us.
Well, the whole idea is the more people who can come in and learn about us, the more they'll tell their friends about us, and the more people who will continue to come. And of course, that helps our economy. That helps everybody. It helps people with taxes. It helps us with services. And so that's a great thing. But to go after the international market, we work a lot with Capital Region USA, otherwise known as CRUSA. And basically, it's DC and Virginia and Maryland who all pool their resources to go after the international market, because no one of those entities has enough money to do it effectively on their own.
Right.
And so we, Annapolis and Anne Arundel CVB, work with the state of Maryland. So when a group's coming in of journalists and the state approaches us and says, hey, most recently we had a group here from Brazil. They were with Pan-Rotas, which is the largest travel and tourism portal in Brazil. And of course, Brazil is a very big country. And so to have these people here, there was a photographer and a journalist here basically learning about the destination, getting a first-hand taste so that they can go back and talk through that portal to these people and have them decide they want to send their people here, whether it's a travel agent or a receptive operator sending their people here. And so, and we had somebody recently from Australia who came. Now that's really far away. And somebody asked me, do you really expect people to come from Australia? And here's the answer. if somebody from Australia comes here, and this person came to do quirky, he wanted to do quirky. What's quirky about DC, Baltimore, and Annapolis? So of course he was here in time for the Rotary Crab Feast, and he loved that idea, so he went there. The sad thing was he's a vegetarian. I thought, ooh, how about that?
There was corn.
There was corn, but you and I think, would be very tempted if we saw all that, and I thought, ooh, you know, what a waste. But anyway, he was very excited about that, and we have quirky Annapolis Ice Cream Company with their spoons that everybody can decorate and hang up on the wall. And of course and the Maritime Museum, Annapolis Maritime Museum.
Yes, yes.
So a lot for him to see. But before he came, we had somebody from the UK who came, who actually was with the PR firm that Crusoe uses in the UK. And she came and she got a first-hand taste, and she went right back and was writing news releases. Actually, one of them was about Market House. So
great.
That was great.
Yeah.
We walked by it. I told her it would be opening in August, and in fact, so she wrote about that, and she was talking to people about paddle boarding, and actually the person from Australia, we got him out on a paddle board too.
Nice.
And so if they write about these things and there are people in their countries, I mean, who's to say that somebody from Australia isn't going to be coming this way for something in DC?
Right.
They could take a side trip to Annapolis. I mean, so it's all very connected.
It is. It's very interconnected. And here's the other interesting thing. I was on an airplane not so long ago, and I opened up whatever the travel, you know, that you're bored. You're like, oh my gosh, I can only look through Sky Mall for so long. So now I read the magazine. And I'm thinking, is this a partnership with the state, or was this CVB all by itself? It was Visit Maryland, and then over in the corner it said Annapolis.
Well, actually, what the state does, there's a lot of co-op opportunities. I'm not familiar with that specific ad that you allude to, but we do cooperative work with the state of Maryland where we can buy into that. And we do use their logo when we work with them cooperatively. And so, of course, having Maryland on there gives people a sense of place. It's in the state of Maryland. And then, of course, having Annapolis pop is something that we all work for.
But, so. I mean, you know, this was an international flight, and I thought, how brilliant.
It was international,
you know?
That's great.
And so now you're thinking, okay, not only all of these people, but you're bringing in international people. So, I mean, there's so many layers of what you do. Obviously, we're giving, you know, some information today on this program, but the web just really seems to be the ideal place for people to go for more information.
We are very excited about our new website that launched in January. It's very robust, it's very image heavy, it's very dynamic. We're always adding new stories, new blogs. We have at this point 22 different bloggers, and we're always welcoming more. So if any of your viewers have a passion about, I don't know, dining or recreation or nightlife or whatever, we're looking for bloggers, and so they should let us know. But they should check out our site, which is www.visitannapolis.org, and click on blog and see all of the topics. There's history and heritage, there's shopping, there's fashion, there's the outdoors. I mean, pretty much getting on the water, sailing, all of that. But always, there's always room for more. And so we've gotten really good feedback about those blogs. And our website, we're taking a seasonal approach. If you saw it in August, it was all about crabs.
Yes.
So there was a video on there that Senator John Astle starred in. He showed people how to appropriately and properly pick crabs, steamed crabs, which was great. They had a waterman on there who they followed and went out with him as he was going after the crabs, learned all about how bountiful they are or aren't this season, and what his trials and tribulations are, as well as triumphs and that kind of thing. And then many, many images about the crabs. And on Facebook, we also invited people to let us know their favorite place, where they go for their favorite crab cake, their favorite crab cake destination. And so people really responded. About 1,000 more people liked us on Facebook just to participate. And we came up with 5 semi-finalists, if you will. And then there was a winner, which was Edgewater Restaurant in Edgewater, which I haven't been to and I need to go to, obviously.
You have to.
Obviously.
Oh my goodness.
But that was great because it really got people talking, and crabs are so much a part of what this whole destination's about, and the appeal and all of that. And then,
it is.
And then in August, it's all about family fun. We did it all about family fun, and that's obviously gets involved with getting out on the water, had some paddle boarding, you know, visit to the State House, all of that. So what we're going to have each month is probably a new video each month, a blog that applies to the topic at hand, an article that goes pretty into depth about family things to do. And of course we thought for August that was great because families are trying to do that last hurrah before everybody goes back to school.
Sure.
And then in September we're going to be doing Annapolis Green. It's going to be all about like the Chesapeake Bay and what people can do. And so we sort of have a game plan here that seems to be working okay.
Yeah.
And the calendar of events we invite your viewers to go to because we try to make it as robust as possible. We're always up for hearing about other events that might not be shown on our calendar because there's always new events that we can add.
Right.
And so that's where we see it as being a resource. And then of course from the blogging perspective, local people know what locals want to hear more about, and if they see a void, then they can fill it by writing about whatever that is.
And again, they'll go, give me the address again one more time.
It's www.visitaNapolis.org.
And click on blog.
Click on blog right at the top, but click all over because the site has great things, the
Sure.
calendar, the explore section, the all of it.
All of it. You mentioned the calendar section and upcoming events, and I know that there's a large event coming back to Annapolis. So do you not only work on bringing them in, but retaining these groups to bring them back year after year?
Absolutely. Our sales department's really active in helping people who bring large groups in to find the accommodations that they need. And so, of course, the group that you're alluding to is Drum Corps Associates, and they were here last year.
It's so much fun.
So much fun,
Yes.
really fun. It was the 48th Annual World Championships that were here last year, and they're coming back. Well, they're coming back Labor Day weekend for the 49th World Championships, Drum Corps Associates, and basically it's going to be more than 30 drum corps. They're the best in the world, all-age drum corps from throughout North America. And so, and what was really fun last year and what will be a repeat this year is DCA at the Dock,
Yes.
which will be Thursday, August 29 at City Dock. And last year, a lot of people knew about it, so they came. A lot of people didn't know about it, but they heard. So they all came down, and it was just a great combination of this fanfare, this fun, like all ages were there, the colorful uniforms. There was the Catherine Marie was out there ready to depart. So all the people were standing on the top deck of the Catherine Marie looking down at this wonderful celebration. And so we're really looking forward to that repeat on Thursday of Labor Day weekend. And then, of course, on Friday, they have the mini and individual and ensemble drum corps performances, which I believe, once again, they're offering as free to the public on Friday if people want to check that out. And then on Saturday, they do the preliminary championships, and that starts at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they have the finals, the World Championship Finals, which is the big, nail biter kind of thing for the drum corps who come. But many of them have done this for years. So for them, it's also this great sense of camaraderie. And as you know, last year they practiced on about 30 different fields throughout the county, which was really neat for the residents to hear that music in their own backyard and watch them perform. And while it wasn't the final performance, there was all of that energy. And the quality, because the quality was still there. And so they're doing that again this year. So it's really, as I said last year, like Arundel County, the hills will be alive with the sound of music. So
I love it.
Which it was and which it will be.
Yeah. And with that, again, www.visitaNapolis.org, on their calendar, the information, and of course on Annapolis.gov on our calendar, we'll be having the same information so you can know where to go buy tickets, where to go see it at City Dock, where the free ones are, and where the paid entertainment is.
Right, because absolutely, the city is helping to make this whole DCA at the Dock a reality.
Well, it's just so much fun. Again, as somebody who grew up in Wisconsin, it was always a big thing. My mom and I would go to the University of Madison every year for their big competitions. When I told the gentleman that I was working with last year on it, he was like, one of their groups going to be here. And I was so excited.
And I should say, it's at Navy Marine Corps Stadium. I neglected to say that. So great venue, can hold many, many people, and a great family event.
It is a family event, and good memories can be made at it. Well, talk to me about the next time that we get together. Are you going to be able to bring us more upcoming events and what we can expect?
Absolutely. We'll talk about events. We'll talk about the latest projects that the Conference and Visitors Bureau is working on, because again, that involves everybody.
I know.
Because the product that we promote is this destination. So everything about this destination is what we care about and what we want to enhance and we want people to experience.
That's wonderful. And Susan, if someone would like to get more information from you personally, how would they contact you?
They can contact me at Steckman, Steckman at visitannapolis.org.
As seen under her name on the screen.
Right.
All right, great, because that's important. I think a lot of people will have some updated questions as we continue to give them updates on what's happening in Annapolis.
Right, and there's always something happening.
There's always something happening all around Annapolis, as a matter of fact, and that's the program you've been watching. I'm your host, Rhonda Wardlaw. I hope you all have a fabulous week, and we'll look forward to seeing you right back here in Annapolis.